you need to. If you need to come on to ask a question, oh, Tatiana, hi. If you need to come on, good morning. If you need to come on and ask a question, you can unmute yourself. I am recording, but I'll take that part out of the recording. And if I don't make sense, if you can't hear me, whatever, just unmute yourself. It's okay to interrupt. I guess it's not interrupting. So listen to your body today. Only do what's comfortable for you. If we come into a pose that doesn't feel right, be sure to come out and come into any resting pose that feels good for you, and then join us again whenever you're ready. I don't remember. I was going to say something else. It doesn't matter. It'll come to me as we get going. I haven't finished my coffee. That's the problem. All right. So let's all start lying down. So lying down in any comfortable position. I guess I should hit record. Here we go. I know what I was going to say. I'm going to be offering lots of different modifications today for class. So pick the one that feels the best for you. All right. So to begin, noticing, what should we start with today? Let's start by noticing the mind. And just see what's going on today in your mind. Perhaps you're thinking about your week, maybe a conversation you had with someone earlier today. Perhaps you're thinking about things you wish to accomplish. And whatever is there that you don't need during our practice today, I invite you to imagine placing it on a cloud and then watching the cloud slowly drift away. Trust that if it's something important that you need to remember, it will still be there for you later when you need it. You just don't need it right now. And then noticing your breath. Where do you feel your breath the most in your body? Noticing the quality of your breath. Is it shallow or deep? Quick or slow? Is it maybe catching somewhere? And notice where it's flowing. And then if it's comfortable for you, taking deep inhales in through your nose, into your diaphragm, allowing it to expand. And long, slow exhales out. And then just checking in with your body. Notice if there's any part of your body calling out for your attention. Maybe there's discomfort somewhere, a headache beginning. Maybe everything feels good this morning. Just notice. If there's any part of you that feels discomfort, perhaps imagine sending your breath to that part of you. As you inhale, imagine energy flowing into that part. And as you exhale, imagine the energy flowing back out. And this energy can be anything that your body needs. Maybe it's relaxation, softening, kindness. Maybe something starts to change or shift. And maybe not. Just notice, no judgment today. I say today, no judgment ever. We're not here to judge ourselves. Just notice. So in yoga, we have some kind of ethical practices. And one of them is Asteya, which means non-stealing. So that can mean taking from others, such as their possession, time, or ideas, or taking credit for someone else's work. All that seems obvious, right? But we can also steal from ourselves. We do that when we compare ourselves to others, when we are not appreciative of the body that we have at the present moment, or when we push ourselves beyond our limits. When we steal from ourselves, when we are not present in the very moment. And we steal when we try to get into a pose that doesn't belong to our body. Maybe it's a pose that doesn't belong to us ever or just for today. So as we move through our practice today, look for places that you may steal in a pose that may not be the best choice for your body, your energy, or where you are emotionally today. So not everything offered in this class will be best suited for you. Don't steal the poses that do not help you grow. Okay. So as I mentioned, lots of options today. So finding some small movements here in your fingers and toes. Perhaps rolling around wrists and ankles. Maybe you take a big stretch here. And then I invite you to hug both knees in towards your chest and find movements that feel good for you today. So maybe it's making circles with your knees. Maybe the circles go in the same direction as each other, opposite direction. Maybe it's just a rocking motion. We're just kind of exploring, seeing what feels right. All right. And whenever you feel ready, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then gently making your way up to seated. So any comfortable seated position for you, maybe it's easy seated pose, crisscross applesauce. Maybe it's legs are out long, maybe it's butterfly, whatever feels right for you. And we're just going to do a little bit of movement here in the upper body. So on your inhale, rolling your shoulders up towards your ears, and on your exhales, rolling your shoulders back and down your spine. So this is where we want our shoulders to be, back and down the spine. Anytime our arms are overhead or we have our hands on the earth and we're placing weight into our hands. You won't forget. I'll remind you about 100 times today. Okay, so one more time. All right, and then let's find some organic movements. So maybe it's big circles here, little circles. Maybe when you come back, you arch your back behind you. And just check in with your body. Notice what you feel in your spine, in your hips, in your shoulders. All right. And then if you haven't already, going in the opposite direction. All right. And gently coming back to center. So shoulders roll back and down the spine. Let's bring the arms out towards the sides. On your inhale, opening your heart up. So imagine there's a string pulling your heart up towards the sky. And on your exhale, rounding your spine, allowing your arms to come around you as much as you feel comfortable. So give yourself a nice hug this morning. Inhale to open and exhale to hug. Inhale to open, exhale to hug. Continue here. You know, there's some people that talk about when all of this social distancing is over, they're going to hug every single person that they see. And there are probably other people who are thinking, don't you dare hug me. So one more time in each direction. Beautiful. All right, we're going to make our way into a tabletop. So in our tabletop position, knees are underneath the hips, wrists are underneath the shoulders. With our hands, we kind of want to claw the earth a little bit. So gripping the fingertips into the earth, and then it's almost like you're cupping your hand. And imagine that there is a ladybug underneath your hands and you don't want to squish the ladybug. Okay, so this helps to protect your wrists. And from here, we're going to move in and out of a few poses. So you're going to find what feels the best for you in your body. So we'll start here. We'll take a deep inhale in a table pose. And on the exhale, we're going to sit back into child's pose. So maybe big toes together, knees apart, maybe knees stay together, whatever feels better, the best for you. And then on your inhale, making your way back into your tabletop pose. And on your exhale, if it's comfortable for you, coming into downward dog. If not, maybe return to child's pose. So downward dog, deep bend in your knees to begin. Shoulders roll back and down your spine. Inhale, slowly come back to table. And exhale, child's pose. All right, so you're going to move at your own pace. Inhale to table. Always inhale at table. Exhale, either downward dog or child's pose. So just at your own pace. And explore maybe a little bit as you come into your child's pose. Does it feel better to curl your toes under, keep them curled under, or maybe for your feet to be flat on the earth? Tops of your feet flat on the earth. So I invite you to maybe slow down a little bit. Take slower, deeper inhales in through your nose, into your diaphragm. Longer exhales. All right, let's go through wherever you are. Finish your round. And then once that's complete for you, finding child's pose. Any variation, maybe it's Big toes together, knees wide on the mat. Perhaps you bring your arms back by your sides, by your feet, palms face up, shoulders roll down. Or maybe you stack fists so that your head rests on your fists. All right, so take a couple rounds of breath here. And just notice where you feel your breath in your body. Can you feel it in your back body? Maybe you feel the rise and fall of your rib cage along your back. All right. One more round of breath. And then gently making your way back into your tabletop pose. All right, so from tabletop, we're going to come into a low lunge. So let's bring the right foot forward between the hands. We want to make sure our knee is over top of the ankle in line with the second or third toe. So find a couple rounds of breath here. If you use blocks, please feel free to grab them to place underneath your hands or whatever you have that maybe can bring the earth up a little higher to you. So just a few rounds of breath here. Maybe sink into it a little bit more if you need to create a longer stance on your mat so you feel a little bit of a stretch along the front of the left thigh. So notice if you feel like you're collapsing in on that front leg, allow the crown of your head to reach towards the front of the mat. So lengthen your spine, draw the belly button in. All right, and then we're going to kind of move here. So maybe your hands stay where they are, or maybe your hands move with you. We're going to straighten the front leg, curl back the toes. So hands can come back, or hands can stay forward. That's a deeper stretch. And then walking your hands forward, or coming forward into your lunge. So we're going to just move back and forth here at your own pace. Maybe you wish to hang out somewhere, so you could be in this stretch. If this feels like too much and you don't have anything for your hands, maybe hands come up on your thigh, on your hips. Find length in your spine and then slowly tip forward as much as you feel comfortable. All right, so just moving at your own pace, find what feels good for you with this movement. So this bottom knee that's on the floor, if you feel discomfort, if you have a blanket, you can always place a blanket underneath, or you can always fold the mat underneath that bottom knee to create a little bit more padding. Okay, we're going to come one more time here in each direction. All right, let's make sure that front knee is over the ankle. And then with length in your spine, rise. Arms reach up towards the sky. Shoulders roll back and down your spine. All right. Send your tailbone down towards the earth. So it's a slight tuck of the tailbone. And then we're going to find a little bit of a side bend. So right arm comes by the side. And then reaching over towards the right side. All right, inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands to the earth, and we're just going to come into tabletop and switch over to the other side. So same thing, set up with your low lunge here. Left knee over left ankle. Draw the belly button in. Find length in your spine. Crown of the head reaches forward. Draw the navel in. So it's almost as if you would be able to hold yourself up here if you were to take your hands off the earth and you're not leaning into that front leg. Okay, and then whenever you're ready, find that movement. So perhaps you just stretch that front leg long, or maybe you walk the hands back, curl back the toes of the left foot as you do so. And again, where do you need to be in this pose? Maybe you need to be up high. All right, finishing your round wherever you are. And then find length in your spine. Allow your upper body to rise. Arms reach high, shoulders roll back and down, slight tuck of your tailbone. And we'll move over to this side for a stretch. Left arm comes down by your side, reaching over towards the left side. So if this is uncomfortable for that top arm, you can always just drop the arm. Maybe both hands come by the waist if that's more comfortable for you. So listen to your body. Inhale, let's come back to center. And exhale, hands to the earth. We're going to come into a tabletop pose. Okay, so ready? Here we go. We're going to bring the right foot forward once again, setting up for that low lunge. So your choice here, you can stay in a low lunge, or you can curl your back toes under, lift the back knee, squeeze the inner thigh. Okay, draw the belly button in, crown of the head reaches forward. And here we go. We're going to move back. So walking your hands back, straighten the front leg, activate the front foot. Maybe the hands walk back. Maybe you need to step in about a foot with the back foot. Come into more of a warrior one. So back toes point towards the top left corner of the mat. All right, and then you come back forward into that lunge pose. And then walk back. Maybe hands walk back, maybe they don't. Straighten the front leg. Just find some movement here. Remember, don't steal a pose that doesn't belong to you. Maybe that back knee comes down. So we want to honor our bodies today. All right, so wherever you are, make your way back into that lunge pose, knee down or knee up. All right, squeeze your inner thighs as you rise once again. Shoulders roll back and down the spine, slight tuck of the tailbone. This time, let's find a little bit of a heart opener here. So bringing the arms into cactus arms. I remember earlier we were imagining the string pulling the heart up towards the sky. So same thing here. So that bend comes from the upper back. Check the front knee, make sure it's not going over the toes, past the toes. Whoo, inhale. Let's bring the hands back down to the earth. Okay, here we go. We're going to find a little balance pose. So if your back knee is on the earth, squeeze your inner thighs, pick up the back knee. We're all going to shift our weight forward into the right foot. Perhaps you walk your hands out forward, grab blocks if you need them. Realizing how close I am to my wall. Okay, you're going to shift into that right foot. Pick the back foot up off the earth. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is where you are today. Okay, back leg is long. We're going to try and come up to warrior three. So lengthen the front body nice and long. Try and make a nice straight line here, parallel to the earth. Maybe the arms reach back behind you, toes point down towards the earth. If you're like, I can come into Warrior 3, but not the way we did it, feel free to come up. Come into Warrior 3. Use a wall if you need it. You're not cheating. I use a wall too. It's okay. All right. Maybe you play with it here. Maybe the arms reach forward. Draw the belly button in. One more round of breath. And then we're going to come to standing, both feet together. Mountain pose. I'm kind of cut out of the picture there. It's okay. Mountain pose. Shake your legs if you need to. All right. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Extended mountain, shoulders roll back and down your spine. And exhale with a flat back, swan diving down into a forward fold. Find a few rounds of breath here. Don't worry, I didn't forget about the other side. So in your forward fold, maybe you sway a little bit from side to side. Maybe arms dangle, or perhaps you grab a hold of opposite elbows. As much of a bend in your knees as you need, so there's no discomfort in the backs of your thighs and in your low back. All right, so one more round of breath. And then deep bend in your knees, hands to the earth, taking a big step back here with the right foot and lowering the right knee to the earth. All right, so again, where do you need to be? Is the knee down or is the knee up? Squeeze the inner thighs. All right, and then same thing. We're going to walk our hands back, extend the front leg. Maybe the back knee stays down. Maybe you step that back foot in. And then when you come forward, just be careful that the knee doesn't go past the toes. Maybe you hang out in a stretch. Or perhaps you keep moving. Okay, so wherever you are, shifting your weight into that front foot. If the back knee is on the earth, squeeze the inner thighs, pick up the back knee. We're going to shift our weight forward onto that left foot. Walk the hands forward, maybe with blocks. Right foot comes up off the earth. So again, entirely up to you. Where do you need to be today? Maybe you find your way into Warrior 3, or perhaps you come up first and then find your Warrior 3. Toes point down towards the earth. Find a place to focus on the earth. Maybe your Warrior 3 looks a little different. Maybe it's just foot up off the earth. Send that foot behind you. Two more rounds of breath. And then find your mountain pose. Feet are hip distance apart. All right, so we're going to come into a goddess pose. Just turning any direction that helps you see the camera the most. So we want to come wide on the mat. We're going to turn our toes out towards the top corners of the mat. Feet are nice and wide. And then goddess pose, we're going to sit down as if there's a chair. Send the tailbone down towards the earth. So maybe a slight tuck of the tailbone. Everybody's a little bit different. We want to find what's really a neutral spine, but sometimes when we come here, we're used to squatting hips back. We want to send them down. Opening the knees so they're over the ankles and preferably in line with the second or third toe. Let's find cactus arms here. All right, inhale, reach up, nice and long. Exhale, arms come down, come into your goddess pose. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, maybe you come down a little further. Inhale up, star pose, and exhale down. Can you come a little further? Listen to your body though. Last one, inhale up. Exhale down and hold. So what feels good for you here in your goddess pose? Do you stay here? Take a break when you need to? Maybe you find some movement in the upper body. Perhaps you find temple pose, I think it is. So temple pose is like one forearm to the earth, other arm reaches up and over to the earth. Don't bring your arm to the earth. I'm sorry, to your thigh. And then the other side. I mean, you could bring your arm to the earth, but I don't think I could do that. So, all right, find a couple more rounds of breath here. Beautiful. Inhale, stretching your legs long, arms come long. Turning the feet towards the sides of the mat, hands come to your hips. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale with a flat back, folding forward. Just come as far as you feel comfortable. So maybe your hands come to your thighs, shins, blocks, or the earth. And find your breath. Deep inhales, long, slow exhales. Okay, so we're going to find a twist. We're going to bring the right hand over towards the left leg. So it will depend on your body where you need to be. Maybe your hand is up by your thigh. Maybe your hand comes to your shin or your ankle. So listen to your body. Left arm reaches out towards the side and perhaps up towards the sky. Notice how your neck feels. Where does it feel best to look? All right, let's bring the left hand down and we're going to make our way over to the other side. This side could be different from the first side. Left hand to right leg somewhere. Where does it feel good? Right arm out towards the side, perhaps up towards the sky. Notice the difference from side to side. And remember, we don't want to steal part of a pose that doesn't belong to us. So even on this side, it might look different from the other side. Beautiful. Let's release the hands, forward fold. All right, hands come to your waist, and on your inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, come on up with a flat back. We're going to heel toe the feet back together and perhaps shake out the legs if that feels good for you. And return to the front of your mat. So mountain pose, feet hip distance apart. Imagine there's a block between your thighs, squeezing the block. Shoulders roll back and down. Crown of your head reaches high. So we want to find equal weight in the four corners of our feet. So big toe mound, baby toe mound, inner heel, outer heel. Okay. And on your inhale, let's reach our arms up towards the sky, extended mountain, shoulders roll back and down. On your exhale, with a flat back swan, diving down into forward fold. All right, your forward fold. What feels good? How much of a bend in your knees do you need? What would you like to do with your arms? Perhaps you can clasp your hands behind your low back, shoulders roll back and down the spine, reach the arms up high. Are there any movements that feel good here? You can even find a movement from side to side if it's in your body, walking your hands over towards the right side of your leg or on the earth, and then walking your hands to the left. So just explore. All right. Let's come back. Forward fold, deep bend in the knees, hands to the earth if you can. Let's take a big step back with the right foot. All right, right knee can come down or stay up. Hand down twist. Right hand comes underneath the right shoulder, grip the fingers. Find length in your spine, reach the crown of your head forward, maybe hand comes to your left thigh. Turning to the left hand reaches up high. All right, so this is your hand down twist. Maybe hand reaches high. Maybe you're able to open a little bit more. Allow that left arm to reach back. Maybe not. And trying not to collapse in on that right arm, so a little bit of give in the elbow. All right, let's bring the left hand down towards the earth. We're going to find a side plank. So whichever one feels best for you, I'll walk you through a couple of them. I'll start with the right knee down on the earth. Sorry, you're going to see my back. So maybe the left foot walks over and back behind you. Maybe this is your side plank. Maybe the left foot, let me turn around, stays by the side. You come up on the back leg, come onto the baby toe side of the right foot. Left hand reaches up. Maybe it's side plank, stacking your feet or staggering your feet. Find what feels right for you. Maybe you take a break. You're like, nope, no side plank today. One more round of breath here. All right, and then we're going to make our way over into a tabletop pose and come into child's pose. Any variation that feels the best for you. Some people even enjoy arms between the legs. Maybe you place a block under your forehead. So we rest and replenish our energy. It is in this quiet space that you return to your breath and return to the truth that your practice shows you, that you are enough. There is nothing you have to do or take to be enough. There is no pose you have to force yourself into. Finding one more round of breath. And then making your way into a tabletop pose. All right, from tabletop, we're going to come in this side a little different. Let's step the right foot forward. Maybe your knee stays down, back knee, or maybe it comes up, hand down twist, left No, left wrist under the left shoulder. Sometimes I wonder if people actually follow what I say, what they would look like. Okay, find lengthen your spine, right hand to your right thigh, and lengthen and turn. Right hand reaches up high. Again, perhaps it reaches back behind you. Notice if it reaches back behind you, what's going on with your hips. Try and keep your hips square to the front of your mat. Where does it feel good to look? All right, right hand comes down to the earth. What kind of side plank would feel good for you on this side? So weight goes into your left hand. Grip the fingers into the earth. Push away from the earth. Find your breath. Find your balance. One more round of breath. All right, and then make your way into tabletop. One more time into child's pose, or maybe it's another resting pose that feels best for you. Just because I offer it doesn't mean you need to take it, right? Notice your breath. Have you been taking the breath that you need? Take deep inhales, long, slow exhales. Or have you been holding back that breath? Notice if maybe you're breathing shallow or deep. We're not stealing breath when we need it. Taking one more round of breath here. And then making your way out of your resting pose into tabletop. So if downward dog doesn't feel great for you in your practice, know that we're going to be coming to standing at the front of the mat into mountain pose. If downward dog is okay, shoulders roll back and down your spine, curl the toes under, send the hips up and back. And then perhaps walking the feet up towards the top of your mat, or however you need to get there, forward fold. And then hands to your hips, find length in your spine and coming up with a flat back. All right, so we're going to find another balancing pose. If you need a wall, come on over to a wall. We're going to find dancer today. So mountain pose, again, four corners of your feet. Finding the four corners of your feet, so equal weight. Squeeze the inner thigh, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Okay, we're going to shift the weight over towards the left foot first. Try not to lock out the left knee. And then we're going to pick up the right foot off the earth. Activate the right foot. So we want to slightly curl back the toes. This protects our knee. We're going to keep the foot active. Send the knee down towards the earth. Reach back for either the ankle. If you can, reach for the inside of that foot, inner arch of the foot. Try and send the knee down towards the earth. So perhaps you stay here. Or perhaps you find a little bit of movement here. So maybe you send the left knee back. Keep it pointing down towards the earth. Maybe the left knee, right knee back, not left knee back. I'm sorry. Maybe the left arm comes forward. I wonder how many of you I have messed up here. Maybe if it's in your body, you don't have any back issues, you send your foot up towards the sky. Keep that knee of the right knee pointed down towards the earth. I'm telling you, I haven't had enough coffee today. All right, so these are all options, right? Maybe you're here, hand to the ankle. Maybe you're like, I'm gonna take a break. Totally fine. Find a place to focus on that isn't moving. Let's find one more round of breath. All right, and then I invite you to see if you can come back up standing, still holding onto that foot if you can. Release the foot, don't let it touch the floor. Bend the knee, send the foot forward. Maybe you straighten the leg as much as you feel comfortable. Leg could be down here, totally fine. Beautiful. Let's step that right foot back. So we're going to come into warrior one. Right toes point up towards the top right corner of the mat. Left knee over the ankle in line with the second or third toe. We want a wide stance. Right foot to right side, left foot to left. Squaring your hips towards the front of the room. All right. Inhale, bringing the arms up towards the sky. And then I notice I'm kind of out of the camera. You're going to cross, arms up top, but you're going to cross at your wrists. If it's comfortable for you, you're going to bring your hands together. If it's comfortable, okay? So arms are going to be up, either crossed at the wrist. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just arms reaching up high. Maybe they're crossed at the wrist, or maybe hands come together. Beautiful. Find a slight tuck of your tailbone. Relax your shoulders. Still bend into the front knee. Perhaps you find a slight tuck of your tailbone. Open the heart up towards the sky. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release the arms, step to the front of the mat. Shake it out if you need to. And then we're going to find dancer pose on the other side. Take a break if you need. Take a drink of water. There, now I'm in the screen. Okay. So other side, finding mountain pose. Shifting your weight into your right foot. Try not to lock out the knee. Maybe you hold the wall. Left foot comes up off the earth. Activate the left foot. Send that foot back. Knee comes down. Find the ankle or the inner arch of the foot. So when we find the inner arch, it just kind of helps us to open up the shoulder a little bit more. Okay. So knee maybe keeps pointing down towards the earth. We want to keep it tucked in, nice and close to the other leg. All right, find your variation of dancer pose here. Just keep that left foot active. So what feels good for you on this side? So it's okay to fall because, you know, yoga teachers fall all the time. I do. I'm always using this wall. What am I going to do when I don't have a wall next to me and I have to teach? Oh. Find a place to focus on. How does this side feel? Maybe you explore a little bit. How would it feel to maybe tip forward a little? Okay, finding one more round of breath. Okay, let's try and come up to standing without touching the earth with that left foot. I look over at the screen and almost lose my balance. Knee points down. Send the left foot forward. As straight and as high as you can comfortably get it. And then take a big step back with the left foot. Warrior One stance. Left toes point up towards the top left corner of the mat. Check the front knee, square the hips. All right, so we're going to find the arms again. If you found crossing your arms or crossing at your wrist, find that again. But whatever you do automatically, see if you can do the opposite on this side. So maybe hands come together like prayer pose. Relax the shoulders. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you find a slight tuck of the tailbone. Open the heart. One more round of breath. Releasing the hands. Come into mountain pose at the top of your mat. Inhale, extended mountain, arms reach up, shoulders back and down. Exhale, flat back, bending the knees, swan diving down, forward fold. Oh. Find your forward fold. What do you need? So you are your own teacher today. I'm just giving you suggestions. All right, we're going to make our way down to seated. So however it feels comfortable for you, if you want to follow me, you can follow me. We're going to bring the arms out front, slowly sit the hips down. If this isn't in your body, it's okay. Just come down to seated. And then maybe you slowly try and sit down. All right, we're going to find a boat pose here. So feet to the earth, about hip distance apart. Shoulders or hands come back behind you. Perhaps you tent your fingers on the earth if that's what you need. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Remember, go as far as you need. So perhaps it's just one foot up off the earth. Activate that foot. If you can keep a nice straight spine without coming back too far, maybe both feet come up off the earth. Squeeze the inner thighs. Maybe arms come forward. Whew, maybe legs come long. So I'm extra shaky today. All right, so maybe you stay in whatever variation of a boat pose that you're in. Or perhaps you come into a low boat, shoulders and head hover off the earth, legs hover off the earth. And then slowly make your way back into a high boat. All right, where do you need to be? Can you challenge yourself but not steal something that doesn't belong in your body? Two more rounds of breath. And then release your boat. Shake out your legs. All right. A few twists and then we're all done. Here's what we're going to do. So let's bring the right foot out forward. Activate the right foot. Left foot comes in. Activate the left foot and bringing the left knee out to the side. Okay, find your sits bones, so that comfortable place to sit. So you're sitting up nice and tall. There we go. So we want to keep the right foot active. May have already mentioned that. Doesn't matter. Hands come out in front. Inhale to lengthen your spine and exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Send the heart toward the toes. So instead of rounding so that our nose comes down, we want to find length in the spine to reach forward. All right, take a couple rounds of breath here. If this bottom leg is uncomfortable, feels like it's too much for the back of the thigh, feel free to grab a rolled towel or blanket, place it underneath the knee, or even a block, small pillow. So maybe you stay here, or perhaps left hand comes somewhere along the outer edge of the right leg. Could even be the foot, depending on how far you feel comfortable reaching. We're going to find a bit of a twist. Right arm reaches back behind you. Maybe you're up here. Maybe right hand comes to the earth. Maybe you're just in your nose to knee pose. Wall in my way. Keep the right foot active. Square the foot towards the front of the mat. And release here. We're going to switch over to the other side. Left foot comes forward, right foot comes in. Find your sits bones. Lengthen your spine. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And exhale, hinging forward from the hips. So know that you can find a bend in that knee if you need to, in the left knee, by pushing the heel of the left foot down into the earth. So that'll prevent you from straightening your leg all the way. And that will relieve a little bit of tension along the back of the thigh and maybe even the low back. So heart comes forward. Reach the heart towards the toes. Find your breath. Okay, maybe you find a twist. So right hand comes over to the left leg or the outside of the leg somewhere. Find length in your spine. Left hand comes behind you. Maybe you're sitting up tall instead. Releasing here. Let's come to seated. Shake out the legs if you need to. All right, we're going to come down onto the earth. So onto your back body here. And perhaps feet come wide on the mat, windshield wipering the knees from side to side. Notice how it feels in your low back. Does it feel like maybe it's releasing any tension, if you have any? Or maybe you're just windshield wiping your knees and not feeling anything, which is okay too. All right, 2 minutes. Within the next 2 minutes, I invite you to find anything that feels good in your body. So remember, you are your teacher. I'm just your guide today. But I invite you to really listen to what your body needs. Maybe what your mind needs. What are you really needing right now? Could be yoga shapes that we normally make, or maybe it's something else, a different kind of movement, a different kind of stretch. Maybe you find stillness. So wherever you are, I will let you know when we are about halfway through. So if you want, you can find another pose or the other side. So whatever you are in, remember to breathe. Don't take away that breath. Find deep inhales, long, slow exhales. We're halfway through. So finishing up this pose or this side. And then once it feels complete for you, coming into either Shavasana, laying on your back, or any comfortable position for you that, well, on the floor, that'll help you kind of sink and settle and relax. Returning to your breath. Do not hold back on your breath. Not stealing from yourself. Take full, deep inhales. Take in as much air as you need. And then long, slow exhales. Take a moment to notice your head, your face. Are you holding tension anywhere? Especially around the eyes and the jaw. Relax and soften those areas, releasing tension. Maybe even find a little smile. No one else is with you. No one will make fun of you. It's okay. Softening your shoulders. Relaxing your hips. You are whole the way you are right now. You are enough. You do enough. And you have enough. When you vibrate with the wholeness that radiates from within, you realize that there's nothing to take because there's nothing you need to be complete. You have arrived in completeness. You are complete now. There is nowhere you need to be. Nothing you need to do. And nothing about yourself that you need to change. You are enough. You do enough. You have enough. I invite you to take this time to just be here, present in this moment. Feeling your entire body whole and complete, the way you are right now in this moment. As I mentioned from the beginning, we steal from ourselves when we compare ourselves to others, when we are not appreciative of the body that we have at the present moment, and when we push ourselves beyond our limits. We steal from ourselves when we are not present in this very moment. If your mind begins to wander, I invite you to say to yourself, I am enough. Maybe you keep returning to that mantra. Maybe you keep it going in your mind. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, enough. All right. It is 11:11 if you wish to make a wish. Making some small movements in your fingers and toes. How about this? What do you need? Find what you need. What is your body asking for? Anything that'll help you kind of come back into this space. Bring your mind back, bring the body back. And wherever you are, if you haven't already, slowly rolling over to one side, any side that's calling for you. And then gently making your way up to seated, any comfortable seated position. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. I invite you to bring your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra or Namaskar Mudra, softening the shoulders, maybe bowing your head. Our yoga practice means to bring together, to join together, to unify. We unify our body, mind, and heart. Sometimes the shadow side and our light side, and we unify with the world around us. Our hands together in this symbol symbolizes the unity within us and with the community around us. So I invite you to take a moment here to find gratitude for your practice and gratitude for this community, all of us here today. Even though we're all little tiny squares on a screen, it's okay. We're all sharing practice together. And I'd like to thank all the yogis from India who brought us this beautiful practice of yoga. May we all live in peace, love, and gratitude. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today and with each other. Have a beautiful day. I'll be here if you have any questions. Thanks.